Hi everyone, this is Caroline Speaks, the State of Our World, on Monday, January 31st, 2022. So what is it, good, better, and different? All three. All right, what are some of the major headlines? Okay, all right. Leonard Peltier has coronavirus. His lawyer, an ex-federal judge, calls for native leader to be freed. Good. He was accused of being part of an insurrection against. He's a Native American activist, and he's accused of aiding and abetting the killing of two FBI agents during a shootout out South Dakota's Pine Ridge Reservation. While the member of the American Indian Movement, he is innocent, and so we're trying to get. Authorities are trying to get him out of jail. Another headline: Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors on evolution and imagining a society based on care. That would be nice. I want to really abolish prisons and um, police that don't provide care. We have to imagine what we would do with that money if we didn't have to, if we had a system based on care. So we need to, community organizing is good, and make sure everybody is taken care of. But we need a system based on care, not on punishment. We don't need more jails. All right. Now, what are some other headlines? UN Security Council meets over Russia-Ukraine tensions as Ukraine calls out Western panic. Okay, I hope there won't be a war, but I don't know. The defense industry must be very happy. Okay, UN says that 2,000 children died since 2020 after being forced into combat in Yemen. Yemen is an area that has two sides, and Saudi Arabia are fighting the Yemeni people, well, fighting the rebels, because the rebels are being supported by Iran, and Saudi Arabia is doesn't want Iran to have anything. But um, the rebels, the Houthi rebels, have included young children, into the fight against the Saudi-led coalition. So I don't know. And the United Arab Emirates, which is allied with Saudi Arabia, says it intercepted and destroyed a ballistic missile fired by Yemen's Houthi rebels. But who knows? Now, that's the story from them. Unfortunately, this is a really bad situation, but that's the way it is. Yemen has been fighting for a long time, trying to keep power, and Saudi Arabia, the rebels are being supported by Iran, which is which Saudi Arabia doesn't like. So I don't know. Evidently, I don't know what's happening, but we have a civil war raging in Yemen, and the people are the ones who are suffering, the civilians. Okay. Now, what else is new? Taliban killed dozens of former government and allied forces workers since the takeover in Afghanistan. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We handled Afghanistan very badly from the very beginning, when it was just when the West, including the U.S. and the British, was seeking the resources of Afghanistan, and now we have a mess. I think we should allow all people from Afghanistan who want to come here and resettle and help them and take care of them. Now, also, Sudanese security forces kill another demonstrator as protests continue 3 months after the coup. There was a coup um, because the military um, regime took back the power and is supposed to be transitioning to a democratic rule. And unfortunately, the coup by the military um, is keeping things very violent in Sudan. Okay. Now, North Korea tests most powerful ballistic missile since 2017. So what are we going to do about that? I don't know. Pipeline bursts on indigenous land in Ecuadorian Amazon. Thailand rushes to contain a coastal oil spill. Yes, a pipeline in Ecuador, an operator of a privately held pipeline shut down the flow of heavy crude after the pipeline ruptured in the Amazon, and the spill burst in an area not connected to waterways, but the indigenous community says it's contaminated their rivers in their territory. Um, and that was in Ecuador. In Peru, um, a judge has barred four executives with the Spanish oil company Repsol from leaving the country after nearly 12,000 barrels of oil leaked into the ocean on January 15th. The spill was triggered by a tsunami from a massive volcanic eruption in Tonga. It was Peru's largest environmental disaster in years. So in eastern Thailand, authorities are fighting to prevent a 13,000-gallon oil spill from damaging fragile coral reefs and reaching a popular resort. So what we see here, that is oil and gas exploration is very dangerous to the environment and to people. Okay, hope they'll get this resolved. Let's get off of fossil fuels. Spotify adds advisory to podcasts about COVID. Joni Mitchell removes her music from Spotify because of this guy on Spotify who is a real right-wing nut who, his name is Rogan, and he spews out conspiracy theories and uh, saying he has guests who say that COVID is not real, vaccines do not work, etc. So Joni Mitchell and another Neil Young, another singer-songwriter, has also pulled his music from Spotify. Now, Ahmed Arbery's family and lawyers condemned DOJ's backroom plea deal with convicted murderers, but the deal is not going to go through. The murderers are opting to have their life sentences in a federal prison instead of a state um, prison and avoid their federal trial. Okay, the federal Department of Justice federal hate crimes case. They want to punish these people by. They are being punished. They're in jail. They're in life sentences in um, state prison, and um, and they want the murderers. They want to serve their time in a federal prison instead of a state prison and avoid their federal trial. Evidently, conditions are better in the federal than in the state prisons. Who knows? Now, Trump says he'll pardon insurrectionists if reelected, claims Pence had the power to overturn the 2020 results. Vice President Pence did not have the power to overturn the 2020 election results, and that's wrong, but he's riling up their crowds with this. Also, Pennsylvania court rejects expanded mail-in voting. New York could gain 3 House seats in redrawn map. Now, Pennsylvania court struck down a state law that expanded mail-in voting, and the court says the Pennsylvania Constitution requires voters to cast their ballots in person on election day unless they meet certain criteria. Uh, so it's the law that they're trying to overturn will remain in place while the appeal is resolved. A group of 14 Pennsylvania Republicans sued over the legislation after former President Trump lost the state to President Biden in 2020. So I don't know. And New York State has redrawn maps, district maps, that are going to possibly provide a seat for 3 more Democrats in the U.S. Congress. Okay. Now, so we'll see what happens. Who knows? Everyone should have the right to vote. Districts should be drawn up by where you live, not what party you're in. Now, a man sues after being locked up for 37 years on recanted bribe testimony. So what is going to happen to him? I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. But anyway, this man's murder conviction was formally dismissed on Thursday. All right, that's good. Former Miss USA and Black Lives Matter advocate Chesley Christ has committed suicide. That's a real shame. We really need to have mental health care, better mental health care in this country. Now, U.S. calls for Security Council meeting on Ukraine as Russia warns of nuclear confrontation. Biden pledges to nominate black women to Supreme Court in February. Burkina Faso coup leader Paul Henri, what's his name? It's West Africa. They're having an emergency summit to discuss the bloc's response to the recent military coup in Burkina Faso. And the coup leader has had a televised interview by Homeland Defense, the will to fight. According to the U.S. Africa Command, this man who's the coup leader received his training on multiple occasions from the U.S. military. So, since 2008, African military officers trained in American so-called peacekeeping programs have successfully led or attempted at least 9 coups across West Africa. That's nice. The world is a real mess. All right. Ms. Castro was sworn in as the first woman president in Honduras's 200-year history. Hope you do well. And Fukushima nuclear disaster survivors sue over cancer diagnosis. Okay. Well, Fukushima was an earthquake in Japan, so they're suing the Tokyo Electric Power Company, who ran the utility. So I don't know what's going to happen. They have to hold the people in the utility accountable. All right. Now, a lot of mixed type of music here. Mixed type news. Okay, that's a lot of news for today. How about a little music? Thank you for joining us this evening of Monday, January 31st, 2022, for another Me and Carolyn Speaks State of the World. Maybe we should sing one little song. A short song. Okay. Alright, let's, down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad, say I'm on my way, won't be back For many a day my heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Okay, that was a short song, a short version of a song that was made very popular from Harry Belafonte, a folk singer. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Remember, take care of yourself and others. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Wear a mask, practice social distancing, and the vaccine is available for you. So if you take it, I will take it. Thank you. Good night. Stay safe.